While we get you unscared, we're gonna head over to the drafts, ladies and gentlemen. Falcons Vega qualified for MWI of Team Vitality. They did so well with Shell on Roger and Shell on Clint. So with the carry being picked up, it's interesting. Why do you think they went for carry?
I really just feel like that they want to have a good laning phase going up against the Claude, because I think she really just wants that true damage on the Claude so that the Wind of Nature doesn't really help.
Ah, I see. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the first game in this best of two between Team Vitality and TLG. We're gonna skip over to the casters. Guys, are you ready?
Ready, we are. Thank you very much, Eterna and LaFell. Love the nightmare thing, all that too, LaFell. Love it. You know, did you get it?
I got it.
Hey, once again, it's me, Naisu, and Leo joining on the desk. It's this match number 2 for Group D. And yes, it's Team Vitality versus TLG once again at Title Legends Gaming. You know, they had a 1-1 in the previous series, man, so maybe they can replicate what they did in Game 1 to GGHD against the Queens of MLBB. Just non-stop. They've been winning. Just everything.
Undisputed. What was the number? 20-something?
20-something.
Over the past 3 years? Who's going to unseat him? Who's going to knock him off that throne? Title Legends is going to give it their all. Their Girl Scout try here.
That they could. Maybe have some cookies as well. But, you know, for Team Vitality, what makes them so good, I think, you know, even LaFell touched on a bit on this in the draft. Those first three picks especially, this is something that you see constantly back from the men's teams, even when we were in MSC.
It's a very meta.
It's very meta.
Yeah.
The Kagura, I was not expecting. So it's refreshing to see, yes, like Eterna said, these debut picks on day 1 already. There's a lot of unique heroes coming up. I forgot the exact number that we got to see throughout MSC, but I think it was like upper 70s or if not 80s once we got through all that. But the Kagura pick, I don't know, how do you feel about it? Is it enough burst damage with the lineups they have, even though they already have a Roger here?
It's been about 2.5 years since we saw Kagura in a, I don't know, consistent basis in the professional scene.
Yeah.
So with that said, there has been some changes on her, right? We were talking as Chokes goes ahead and applies some pressure on to Shell there, but yeah, no. I'm wondering if those changes are going to be enough.
Yeah.
To put her over the top and make her a legit pick once more.
She's got the level 4 right now, so they're going to go ahead and make their way to this turtle. Looks like they have complete control over it too, so this might just be an objective in the hands of Team Vitality. And it looks like just that. Vival gets it. They come in though.
The diversion. And now Vermouth goes down. A quick response by Fumieko. And Bae's really trying, but Chinny takes her down. 2 free kills for Team Vitality. And now that's a purple attempt by Chokes. I'm not so sure this is wise.
Yeah, Chokes, you might want to get out of there. Looks like she's going to be forced back.
Oh! All right,
okay.
So she dashes through. Again, I think they knew that they weren't going to get punished hard.
Yeah. Well, looking at the SCC replay here, this is what I'm saying. They came in with the diversion. They wanted to fight, but I don't know. They weren't even fully healthy here when this fight broke out. And, you know, with the advantage of, like, if you're just looking at this early game advantage of having a Terizla in the hands of Fumieko, who, you know, naturally Terizla, especially early on with the Brave Smite and that body of Smith, he's tough. She's tough to take down. Yeah. Even with this, I mean, look at this. You're just going to force her back and she's going to be fine and will sustain back up here. And taking a look at the items, you know, early on, you got a lot of penetration coming out with the arcane boots.
Because that's all they need,
that's
really. There's an overabundance of CC coming in from the Queens of MLBB, and they're coming in at a low cost.
Wow.
I don't know how they call Vermouth there. Something tells me it's off of Vivian. The queen, the mother of tanks here, just caught her out of breath, and again, she had like 10 seconds left on that Purify.
Yeah.
Vermouth had nowhere to go.
This is, again, as you're looking at just how they're dominating this early game, it's a rotation that you guys have seen many times if you've been fans of esports for MLBB.
They've been doing this since 2021. Yeah. This is the same play style. Even under the utility jungler meta, Vival was living in their opponent's jungles already.
Yeah. Pretty much. And, you know, this allows her, because of how this is going, diversion is going to be used. I don't think they can stop that from happening. Just turret take already this early on, under the 5-minute mark.
Okay.
Oh, Kez, though.
She's trying. Does she get it? She did. Now Chini's in trouble. Can Chokes finish the job? Oh, Chokes gets it. But where is the clapback? Chokes walks away. Off camera, Team Vitality scores another turtle off of Vival. And I guess that was enough of a tempo break, but you're still looking at about 2,500 gold ahead for Team Vitality.
Oh,
Why?
Shell.
Whoa! Shell!
All right, Shell. I didn't expect her. Like, she didn't even use the flicker. She didn't have to.
Nothing. It was just full-on commit. I don't know what Yinwei was trying to get at there, but I hope that the depth was worth the gold she was getting off of the plate.
I was going to say, she got some gold, but, like, even with that, look, 2,000 ahead for Team Vitality because of this macro play that they're making that they've done time and time again, which is reason why they've just been so dominant in the women's scene here for MLBB. So for TLG, it's like, you know, they're trying to find something. It's almost at this point where, you know, as we even look at the replay, this is already after Yunhua was pushing for that gold. We get a slow-mo look too, because just Shell comes in. Of course she's gonna feel good about that.
She didn't even expect that she would get it that quickly, right?
Yeah.
And now here's a concealed play coming in. The BMI out. Yinhua is not going anywhere. She could have flickered, but I'm sure she would have died still.
Yeah, most likely would have got dove under that turret. So, you know, again, this point for Team Vitality, they're scaling up really quickly. Even on the carry, mid lane though.
Fumi, Echo, catching all of that and still standing.
The body of Smith, that passive, just allowing Fumi Echo to be so tanky. I know, you know, the body of Fumi Echo at this point, it's just tanky enough.
She's just standing there. Like
She's
capable. She has the kit. She's got the guts. And now here comes Vivian, asserting dominance. Look, Chokes, she has to think about it. Where do I go from here? Oh, here comes Vermouth, alone. That could have been disastrous. And now the flicker away from Kinzaki. Team Vitality is just walking through.
It's like they have, you know, these check boxes that they're just going down a list. You know, they have these steps every time they go into a game. And now third turtle's up. We're right there on point. We go and grab it. We zone them out. Oh, Kanazaki.
Got the I'm offended. Looking for the knock-up. Fumi Echo, that's a lot of damage. Yinhua blazing the way into the back line. Fumi Echo still standing. She gets her. And now Vival traded out with Chokes. Can Chini get it? Throws out an umbrella, taking down TLG's jungler. 2 for 1 the trade so far, but look at this. Chell was working quietly off camera as Vivian might not be able to defend. Can she do this? Oh, looking for some damage. Looking at it. Big gets her.
Oh, and then she's actually going to come in and clean a kill too. Kanzaki down. Not sure if Shell can get anything further, but good response.
And off camera, there's still that massive wave. So TLG have to clean up house. Interesting how Team Vitality are allowing certain things from TLG, but something tells me it's a calculated risk. Like, I'll let you come in a step further, but we're working on something else 3 or 4 steps back.
It's almost like they, you know, it's either a game of chess or a code in their own where, you know, we'll, if and, basically, for coding. You can go ahead and do this, we'll cap off something from that, and even push on a macro level. And all this kind of leads into is eventually the Lord fight, you know? So for TLG, it's like they've managed to find a couple wins here. But when it comes to the objective that is coming up, I don't think they're anywhere near where they want to be.
They still shouldn't engage.
They should not engage because of just simply the lineup. I mean, I don't have to go down the list, but just because of an Edith and a Terizla alone is a lot to handle.
Looking at the map, again, TLG just about to score their first turret off cam. There it is, down bottom. Up top, Vitality take another. I'd say it's a little bit closer to chest. We'll talk about it later after Fumi Echo goes in with the penalty zone. Lost a lot of damage coming through. Pulled in underneath tier 1 in mid. Chokes goes down. Can they get the revenge kill on the Vivian? The answer is no. Yunwei falls. In comes Bay, dashing from one to another. Not before she goes down. 2. The shutdown on the Bay. Double kill on the way out. 3 for 2 the trade. I'm saying it's closer to chess. Like, take this juicy night, but we're taking your queen.
Yeah. And with that, they're going to go ahead and get themselves this Lord off of that. You know, as we look at the replay, this is exactly what Team Vitality wanted to do. Fumi Echo goes down, and Vivian. They both go down in an exchange, but they get the 3 from a TLG plus the objective. All part of the plan, and Shell is just completely fine firing off you know, having this time. And of course, there's going to be some frustration there, TLG. But again, they know what they're up against.
And something tells me even TLG knows what they're capable of getting on the back end too, because that's why Yinwei and Bei were saying that was close. We could have gotten them, because they were the two closest to achieving something against Team Vitality in that moment. They could have. Bei got the double.
Yep.
Yinwei was blazing the wedding into the back line there.
It's just she's taken care of so fast.
And
like, that's the problem.
She's not fully kitted out just
She's
yet.
not kitted out. That's the point, right? I think especially when you're talking about defensively, usually you see those Wind of Nature's picked up. Look at the items here. She's just got two.
Not even a Trinity.
She doesn't have the Trinity. And I think even if you get to that point where you have the Trinity, you also have to account for that magic burst, you know, coming out from this pick, because that's a holy crystal now online for Cine. So Lord's taken care of.
Yep.
They at least deal with that. But I'm not sure. Does Team Vitality want to push this any further? I think they're still going to go ahead and be the discipline. Like I said, they got boxes, man. And they'll go down those steps and check those off one by one. They're very disciplined in how they approach this, even with the lead that they have. I mean, looking at the damage, you know, this Kagura pick was a surprise, something we typically don't see often, but it's paying dividends.
Again, you're talking about discipline. She's one of the heroes that you can just leave the damage out there and protect yourself with, and you have a cleanse built in. That's the concealed play coming in from Vivian. Finds no one. Does force out a final slash from Bei, and they let it go. They go ahead and take away all these resources from Chokes. I've been in this situation. I play a lot of Julian in rank.
Yeah.
And when you can't jump in because your opponent outvalues you in CC, it's kind of miserable. You're just walking around like,
how do I, you know, at least you can retreat. Like you have a way to retreat, but your whole point they talked about this in the draft, was that interaction where we usually see the Genius Wands built up, you know, or the Holy Crystals, whatever path is taken first, and you work really well with kind of like a burst combination, especially with a Luo Yi.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that just has not worked. That game plan that they approach this from TLG has not worked for them. And part of it is just the way that Team Vitality's been playing with their frontliners. Tanking that up, it works great. Because you can see, she's got the Genius Wand, she's got the Divine Glaive.
And the Feather.
And the Feather.
Yeah.
So the damage should be there. It's more so like, can we get the placement? Oh, they go in.
And there's the pull. Vivian welcoming it. Look at Vival looking for targets. Vivian very low. The blazing the back line. Bei goes down. Vermouth as well. Yinwei follows. That's just 3 free for Team Vitality. And they collapse. Run, Chokes runs. He's gonna fall. There's just about one left. Kinzaki, the lone survivor for TLG.
Kinzaki, she's just going to be able to watch this as a full force of Team Vitality.
Just 1 minion, is that all Team Vitality needs? The answer is yes. The Queens end at 12-22.
The Queens of MLBB. Victorious 20+ times at this point. Going on 3 years for.
If you don't allow those assassin junglers to go through, the chip is going to get through because they already banned out the juicing, right? So looks like Vitality, they'll be having either Ling or Hayabusa or the chip. So this is why blue side is actually pretty strong. And they banned out the Angela as well, so oof.
Roger still up for grabs, however. Luo Yi, definitely an option. They go for the chip ban. Like you mentioned here, for Team Vitality and now TLG are put in a position where they have to choose their poison. We have Ling, we have Roger, Charizla, Hayabusa, you're right.
Yeah. Honestly, I can definitely see Vitality just first picking an assassin and just like, yeah, this is going to be a sub 13-minute game again. Because again, I kind of feel like TLG, their micro and macro is there. It's just that the experience isn't there yet. Like, I feel like they don't understand the limit of every single hero just yet. For example, like the Kagura. So if Vitality comes out with a hero that they're not used to playing against, they will have bad decisions.
And it showed. So we'll see now, ladies and gentlemen, as we get after this. Oh, there you go. The Ling first pick, very quick, very confidently, even without the Angela. They don't mind, they don't care. They understand the limits of this hero, and now TLG will have to go and pick against it. Tigreal is still opened up for grabs. Terizla as well.
They need it.
And,
No, they need it because imagine Terizla and a Ling. How are you going to deal with that?
exactly.
So I feel like TLG, they need to pick up the Terizla here and then start figuring out whether they want the Harif because the Harif is open, or they pick up a priority mid laner and then last pick picking up something like a Hayabusa. So they pick up a priority mid laner here, they're picking up the Vexana, and they're picking up the Edith as well. This is a bit dangerous because they're giving away the Terizla over to the Ling. So you have one opponent that's hard to catch and one opponent that's hard to kill.
And there's also a Tigreal that's still left open. Can Edith be flexed into the EXP lane? Is that...
Yeah.
Okay. So Terizla has been picked up by Team Vitality. You said this
Tigreal,
was
Minotaur is
scary,
fine.
and now it's actually coming true. Minotaur and Tigreal, the option now.
Or they can pick up a mid, something very aggressive just so that the Ling won't be invaded, right? But going up against Vexana,
Do you want to go for wave clear? Lilia?
oh, they're picking up a Claude first. But again, this if TLG doesn't pick up Harif now, it's gonna get banned out for sure. I feel like they need to pick up Harif right now.
It's a good lane against the Claude. It wins that lane as well. They can try and shut down Shell. She was the PlayStation MVP in our first game from Team Vitality. So they need to figure out a way. How do we shut Shell down? And maybe that starts with having a better setup, a better lineup in that gold lane.
The thing is, Ling is gonna be quite good going up against the Harif, but again, it's kind of like pick your poison. If you have something else like other than Harif, then sure, go for it. They're picking up a Ruby, so they're making sure that their front line is pretty solid here. And again, this is still flexible, but based on what we saw just now, the Ruby did go to the roam position, so maybe it's the same thing here where they put the Edith on the EXP.
Okay. So now,
Ban mid. Honestly,
because, you know, Claude technically did lose in lane against the carry, right? So is TLG, is that what they're kind of fighting for right now? Sure, take the Harith, whatever, pick up the Claude, and then now we're trying to counter it with the carry.
it could be an option. I'm thinking of something else because I feel like something bursty could do well going up against the Claude as well as the Ling. I feel like Faramis is a good ban here because if Vitality has a Faramis as well, you have to kill them twice. Killing them once is hard enough.
But then maybe that's when the Hayabusa comes to play.
Yeah, actually you're right. Yeah, you're right. The Hayabusa can deal, but the Hayabusa gets banned. So this feels like a Faramis pickup. It's just that TLG, are they seeing this Faramis?
Man, that's so scary.
If it's not
that
Faramis,
team fight.
If it's not Faramis, honestly, there's a lot of very good mid laners. I'm just thinking of a situation where TLG, as an inexperienced team, they just want to go for team fights. Pick up a Faramis and deny all the aggression that they're going to show.
So let's see. The next ban coming in from TLG. They're taking their sweet dear time here. Are they going to go for the Faramis ban, taking it away from Team Vitality? What's on the board? I mean, we've seen an Aurora today. We've seen a Nana today as well. But they're going to go for the Grok takeaway, taking it away. One of the power picks from Vivian.
I feel like the Grok is a very good ban because, again, it gives you priority in the mid lane. And it's a hero that if you have a very good early game, you're able to go inside the jungle very comfortably. Harvey gets banned out. Now we got to see if TLG does want to go for the carry. The carry is a pretty good pickup here, going up against the Claw, going up against the Trizla. If they want a little bit more burst, we haven't seen the Brody, we haven't seen the Bruno. Bruno is one of Yinhuai's, comfortable heroes, but going up against the Ling is okay if you have like 3 or 4 items.
What about Melissa?
I think it's tough. Melissa is very, very tough here going up against the 3 heroes that Vitality has.
Okay, so definitely taken off the board, but you don't want to give the mother of roamers a good pickup. There you go, the carry, right?
Yeah, the carry is picked up here. Now, Vitality, if they want to go for a sustain, they can pick up the Faramis. If they want more damage, they could go for something like a Farsa or maybe even a Aurora just to have a lot more control, making it easier for the Ling to go in and out of team fights. So they have a lot of
biased
options.
to Lilia, though.
Honestly, the Lilia is still good because as long as you have a fast tempo going up against TLG, make it so that they have very limited time to think about what's their next step. It's going to be pretty good. Especially if they have a very aggressive roamer as well, maybe like a Chow.
Ooh.
Yeah, Lilia Chow is pretty good.
Is that Vivian's style, though?
The Matilda is open as well if they want that.
Last time she did perform on a Kufra, but we're gonna see the Tigreal and the Zas finally. Okay.
Wow.
Again, the day of debuts. The day of debut. DOD. The DD. Day of debuts, man. Why are you staring at me? Why is it okay when other people abbreviate, but it's not okay when I abbreviate? But anyway, we finally get to see Zas come into play. Earlier on, we only saw that it being a banned hero. But Zas coming through. Guys, what do you think about this? Leo, Naisu.
Hey, I like the abbreviation.
Thank
Eterna.
you.
You know, the day of debuts. What do you think, Leo? It's Zask.
I'm with it. There's more than just Zask. We might even see one more debut here in the last slot for TLG.
Oh, man. Not only that, but I think, especially for TLG, you got to handle this signature Ling pick. You got to be able to control it. And what is the answer going to be? Oh, look at it. It's Julian again.
Oh, man. I was hoping for like a Hanzo or something.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Julian is a natural counter towards the Ling. You know where the Ling is going to pick up the sword, so you prepare your enhanced scythe there.
Yeah.
Thank you for confirming.
Thank you
You're
for,
welcome.
you know, supporting
like
my
the-
DOD, by the way.
I like the affirmation as well. You know, our casters are very nice.
They're so nice.
They're not like us. We're very toxic
No,
to each other.
we are.
You guys.
We're
like,
horrible
yeah,
people.
I mean, we got to balance it out some way.
But, you know, take control, Leo Naiso, as we battle it out here in the studio.
Grr.
Be nice.
Hey, you know what? We can battle it out here because the two teams are going to be battling out again after what we saw from game one, man. TLG, can they replicate, emulate what they did in the previous matchup going into this? Can they get a win off the Queens of MLB, Team of Vitality, the massive win streak they've had? We've seen this even back for MSC. And how this plays a part in all of this, you know, for Title Legends Gaming, they gotta bring the tide once again.
They gotta come help it rise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They took a dip after game 2 against GGHG, and again, stepping up to Team Vitality. But looking at the draft now, maybe all you need is a little bit of refinement. You know, take a bit of what your opponent used in game 1, recalibrate how Chokes plays on this Julian, and maybe there's something there.
I think even part of that, like going off of that, the Edith could play a big part in Title Legends controlling. I feel like that's one of the things, but from what we've seen so far, especially in the competitive landscape, Zas can be I don't know, I was going to say an alien in the side or the thorn in the side of all of these teams that have to face against this, you know, because the slow alone that comes from Zask is tough to deal with.
I see what you're trying to say, and from my point of view, it's such an alien pace to fight a Zas.
Yeah.
He ends up with an extra life, a style of damage that we're not used to. Like it's a DOT with a little bit of a slow.
It feels awkward.
It's very awkward. Like again, you're from a different planet when you fight a Zas, and is TLG ready for that? That's the question.
Yeah, I think that is. Nothing too crazy happening in the early portion of this game.
It's very calm.
It's very calm leading into this first objective, because I feel like for both teams, that's really what they want to play around is these level 4s. Once Fumieko also gets this penalty zone, that's where you're going to see them try to make a play.
If anything, now that the turtle spawned, you'll notice that TLG are up maybe 300, 400 gold,
Yeah.
stable. Their farming is a better rate now, at least against Team Vitality in the opening minutes. Now the turtle's up, less than half health. Chokes very far off. Kinzaki with the spear and the suplex coming through big penalty zone.
What?
Down goes the turtle. Chokes secures it. She's on fire right now. And so is Kinzaki taken down, serving up the kill to Chinny. Another one. Bay goes, but Vival falls at the hand of Chokes. Now the fight continues. Can Vival get out of there? She dashes through. Chokes wants to finish the job. Knocks her off, but again, tricky passive on that Tigreal. And both teams walk away with a little something.
Yeah, they both get something out of that. You know, it's they win in. Interesting, because I want to look at this again from STC, the replay. Interesting that Chokes gets that turtle. I feel like the retribution was also just off from Vival there, and even the placement wasn't on par from TLG.
It's level 5 retry. Chokes on the Julian was just a little faster
little
than the
faster.
scaling Ling.
That's true. That's true. You know, which is interesting the way that it went, because for Team Vitality, you still see that awkwardness with the Zask playing part of that. Gets 2 kills. Yeah,
Deal with it.
yeah. So Sydney has 2 kills now that she can go ahead and play around with. The spike of the Zask too. You know, dealing with these little aliens is already enough.
Nightmare spawns.
The nightmare
Such
spawns.
a perfect name. It's a nightmare dealing with them.
Hey, it is. It is. And now that you have an early kill, two early kills on the Zask, it will be more of a nuisance to deal with. But we'll see for TLG. They are maintaining that minor gold lead that they had. But I think this is where you want to see, okay, at this point, you have to make plays. You have to find setups. You have Bay able to use I'm Offended when she rotates to these objectives, if that's the choice. But even so, like, this is what I was saying with the Edith, you know? Like, this is a big play potential that you can use with the Earth Shadow combination.
Yeah, despite being at 2-1, TLG are in a much better shape than they ever were in game 1.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
4 minutes in, they're up by about 300, 400 gold. Again, they're keeping that solid lead. As small as it is, it at least allows them to be competitive and forces Team Vitality to choose how they engage. Now the Turtle's up, less than half health now. Oh, this is a quick take.
I think I just give it up. Oh.
Will they? In comes Kanzaki, repositioning herself, and there goes one more time, Deja Vu! Choquette secures the Turtle! Vival takes out Kanzaki though, Tempest of Blades up, she's in the air, taking down Choquette. 2 for 1 so far, and Cheney scores another one, make it 3.
All right, that, you know, Choquette gets the Turtle, but at what cost? Right? I mean, look at this again, the STC replay. Good setup, but look at the implosion. That was, I mean, we have talked about the Tigreal pickup so many times. That's why.
All on Vivian.
Yeah.
All on Vivian. And the truth of the matter is, I'd reckon a huge chunk of why she is able to walk into these engagements and be on the brink of death or even barely take any damage is because of how well she places the passive.
Yeah.
She stack. I'm coming in.
Yep, I'm here, right? And she does it like, that was a multiple setup implosion, and we saw this even previously in an exchange where she didn't go down. Like you said, she plays with that passive very well, and that's a cornerstone of what's allowing even this lineup from Team Vitality to build up the way that it needs to. Again, we're talking about timing. Shell is just having that hell of a time farming up.
What do they call it? What would they call that?
We call it the gold lane experience.
And what's crazy about her gold lane experience is in olden times, I'm talking about like
Olden
9 months
times.
back. Yeah.
Back in my day.
You would need a roamer to help you out.
Yeah.
Right? Or a massive rotation from your mid. Duo even. But so far, even in game 1 of this series, she's been having the golden experience alone.
Yeah. And I think, again, when you have, it's usually for a Claude especially, that's exactly what you want. Uh-oh. They're actually going to go for Vivian, but...
Find her. Kentucky was like an inch off on the onward.
Yeah, unfortunately. So they're not going to get anything off of that. Also, Turtle's now up here. So far, though, hey, Choquette has been on point. We'll see if she can grab another one and make it 3 for 3, but they don't want to have that same kind of at the cost that they had in the previous one.
It can't be a Pyrrhic victory anymore. Like, it has to be as clean as possible. Maybe a trade, but not a losing trade the way that last engagement went. Bay here pulls the trigger on the I'm Offended. I don't know why she pulled it so early. Now the Turtle at a third of its health. Choquette looking for the
again?
The implosion! Chinny secures the Turtle, and it's all going downhill from here. Tidal Legends crashing into a wall, and it's named Team Vitality.
Oh, yeah, the wave can't get over that one. Okay, she's gonna get spotted out too by the little alien. Goes in.
It's a losing battle. Choquette.
Uh-oh.
Spotted out by Vivian.
Vivian.
Knocked off. Chinny's gonna deal enough damage here. Oh, dashing through the iframes. Shell gets the kill.
Yeah. So it's, and I wanted to say before that Turtle broke out, TLG has done a good job, I would say, in game 2 in comparison to what we saw in game 1. But with these exchanges, they haven't found out an answer to that play yet. Like, they haven't dealt with Vivian's setup potential.
Yeah.
And I think that's already step 1. You have to get over that obstacle somehow, some way. How do you do that?
To be honest, again, just how Chinny's Zask is playing a very alien game, and how its pacing is so unfamiliar, almost extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
It's the same with how TLG are focusing so hard on the turtle that maybe Team Vitality doesn't even want the turtle. They don't need it. They're playing on a different wavelength. It's a different priority for Team Vitality, and that's what allowed for them to skyrocket out of control, way ahead. 4,000 gold now.
4,000 gold at this point, and you can see the choke point now for Team Vitality is to go ahead and take the resources. They can pretty much do this because ultimately they're just waiting for the Lord to pop up, right? Put the pressure here. You take a look at the items real quick. Obviously for TLG, they still need a lot of time. You do have Corrosion Scythe and DHS now in the hands of Yunuhoi. Hasn't died. She's been okay. She's been able to farm herself. But at what point does this carry start to play the role in these team fights, in these exchanges? You know, for the most part, like we said, even in the beginning of the game, you're really just kind of relying on the fact that you have a Julian that can use a lot of damage early on. You've got a Vexana, but it's not enough to deal with that lead that Team Vitality has now. And now Lord's up.
When? I'd say after the implosion. After Vivian commits and shows herself and it's a clean go for Title Legends Gaming, that's when Yinhui is able to do her job. But looking at the map and how quickly Team Vitality makes work of that Lord, TLG are clearly on the back foot. Maybe under their turret, under the base. That's my guess.
They might be under their own wave at this point because, like we saw, Lord was just cleanly taken. Lead is there for Team Vitality, and like we saw from game 1, they ended it in about 12 minutes, 20 seconds. They're gearing up to get close to that position. They're going to take these tier 2s now, especially on the bottom lane, and put the pressure on TLG's base. Let's talk real quick. Oh, hold on. Oh, no.
We'll talk about it later. After Chokes is taken down, there was what, a 2% chance she would have survived that.
Yeah, see, how do you avoid the implosion when it comes from the bush? You know, like, you can't.
To be fair, TLG have a huge dilemma, right? They have very little checking potential. And now, Bay's in trouble. Taken down by Fumieko. One quick swing of the mallet. And just like that, TLG are holding on for their inhibitors.
Yeah, going back to this, shields are all going to go down too. Lord's still top side, so they're down 2 members as well. And it looks like Team Vitality, again, might try to do the same thing, possibly even quicker. That last shield's going to go down here. Lord makes its way. They got 4 members now up. Bay should be up in just a second as well. So they're going to have the full force defense. They're going to lose that mid lane turret, though. They deal with the Lord. I think their eyes are going to be set on this top side, too.
Even bottom.
Vivian once again.
All the way. Big 3-woman implosion. Down goes Yinhui. Chokes as well. This is just a matter of time. Bay goes down. So does Kinzaki. And it's just Vermouth left.
Just Vermouth, and that's Vivian. That's my MVP. That's my coat for this game, too. And in fashion, there it is. The Queens of MLBB.
It's giving slay.
It's giving slay.
Yeah.